We are using a TireMinder i10. Did we make a huge mistake? Hey guys, it's Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing, the channel that brings you the best in RV DIYs, product reviews, RV tours, and so much more. If you're new to the channel, we invite you to subscribe below. Make sure to hit the notification bell, and if you're back for another video, we thank you for joining us. And make sure to stay to the end, because we're going to let you know what we really think about this. So here's a disclaimer, guys. It is sunny outside. I am wearing sunglasses, so if you're not comfortable with that, feel free to move on to another video.
And you could turn your hat around backwards too,
That's
babe.
right. Okay, so this is going to be a follow-up video to our previous unboxing and review of the TireMinder i10. We will link that video up here. We have had the opportunity now to travel over 1,500 miles using this unit. Now, for those that are with us the first time on this video, we previously were using a TST 507, which we had for about 6 months. It had approximately the same amount of mileage on it, and it worked great. But since the last video, we have switched over to the TireMinder i10. On the last video, we covered detail, installation, and review. We are going to quickly recap some important things that I think I maybe missed or kind of misrepresented in the last video. This unit will alert you at a temperature of 167 degrees Fahrenheit or greater. It will give you a high temperature alert, okay? I think on the last video I said 162 degrees. It's also going to alert you on PSI alerts, okay? The last video I said 20% above baseline, 20% below baseline. I was incorrect. I stand corrected. It's going to alert you at 20% above baseline. It's going to give you a high pressure alert. It's going to give you 3 other alerts for below your baseline, and this is according to the manual, okay? I'm going to read it exactly. It's going to give you a rapid leak alert. That is a pressure loss of 3 psi or more in less than 2 minutes. It's going to give you a slow leak alert if there's a pressure loss of 6 psi or more in 2 to 10 minutes, and then it's going to give you a low pressure alert if the pressure loss of 15% or more psi from the baseline pressure. So did we have the opportunity to see this work? Did it give us alerts? Well, yes, it did. On our trip to Tennessee, actually back from Tennessee, it was very hot out, about 95 degrees air temperature. I don't know what the asphalt temperature was, but I'm going to assume it was well over 100 degrees. So the psi in our tires had gone up over, like it was like 115 psi. Well, what happened was when we were driving, we drove into a really torrential downpour, which lasted about 15 minutes.
That was fun driving through that.
Thanks, she was driving. What happened was water comes down, hits the asphalt, cools everything off. You get that rapid drop in temperature. If you don't know, PSI is affected by temperature, right? The higher the temperature of the ambient temperature of that tire, the PSI will go up. If you drop that temperature down quickly, in the case of cooling it off very rapidly, what happened was we got a rapid leak alert, okay? Because it went from like 115, it dropped down to like 109, like almost instantly. And it started beeping, and MJ's like, oh my God, it's beeping, what's going on? I'm like, it's probably because of the rain. But what you have to look for in things like this is you kind of have to use your head, right? So if it was coming from one tire, I would be concerned. But all the tires were showing, right? They all dropped, so it made sense that it was because of the change in temperature. And as always, we take the camera out and the motorized equipment comes out, so we apologize for the noise in the background. Now, continuing on the alerts, we actually got a second alert, and that was an NS alert, otherwise known as a no signal alert. Now, that was concerning because we had never seen that before, and actually, when you look at it from far, it says NS, but it actually looks like 175. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Are the temperature 175? What's going on? We pulled over, we looked at it, it was NS, I looked it up. It's actually no signal. What that means is that this receiver had lost a signal from the transmitter units on the actual valve stems, right? And it was coming consistently from the 2 inner rear wheels. With that being said, I reset it, repaired things. It kept happening. It would lose signal, and then we would drive a little bit. It would gain the signal back. We just kind of ignored it and drive down to to Tennessee, I started thinking to myself, wow, did we make a huge mistake? So what I did was, when we got to Tennessee, I emailed Michael from Innovation Energy. To his credit, he emailed me back almost immediately. Michael addressed the question and the problem that I was having, and it was a huge mistake on our part. So did we make a mistake? Yes, we did. User error mistake, okay? I want to correct this for everybody that's out there that's bought these things that may be getting these same issues, because I've read a couple on the forums, people getting the same issue. It's more than likely user error. The TireMinder has a battery booster. It's just like a little box with 2 antennas. On our previous video, I made it specifically clear that you have to mount that booster antennas pointing down toward the ground. And I also showed you how we had it mounted. We had it zip tied to some cabling in our battery box, antennas pointing down. The problem was, between those antennas and the ground, there's metal, there's battery. Michael, what he said was, your problem is one of two things. Either A, your sensors are bad, or there's a bad battery in it. Highly unlikely, because they were brand new sensors and brand new batteries. He goes, the second one, which I think is more than likely the issue, is that you have to change the location of your booster. So to resolve that issue, I unzip tied, cut the zip ties to the booster. I then fastened them to the chassis directly under the battery box. Now it has a direct shot. It's the box with the 2 antennas pointing directly down to the ground. From what I'm told is that it actually uses the ground to bounce the radio signal off the ground, allows it to spread it out further. Since we've done that, we have had 0 problems, okay? We had the problems driving from New Jersey to Tennessee. From Tennessee back to New Jersey, no problems. A couple of trips after that, no problem. So that seems to have resolved the issue. So to answer your question, or the title of this video, did we make a huge mistake? Yes, we did. We made a huge mistake because we didn't install it correctly. Did we make a mistake from switching over to TST to 507 to the TireMinder i10? I will say it again. They are both great units. The TST 507 is an excellent unit. The i10 is an excellent unit. However, this is about $200 less, especially if you use discount code Endless RVing 20. We'll put that in the link below. You're going to get $20 off of any TireMinder unit you buy, whether that's the lowest to the highest price one. It's additional $20 off. So the 10 sensor unit, $399. That's almost $200 less than what we paid for the TST 507. If you enjoyed this video, if you're thinking about getting a TST or a TireMinder, as we would suggest, feel free to share this video with somebody else. If you know anybody's getting a TST or a TireMinder is looking for a TPMS, let them know. They get a discount code. Listen, it's 20 bucks. It's like the cheapest one on the internet. It's actually cheaper than Amazon. We're going to put the link below. And if you have a TPMS system, feel free to put it in the comments below. Let us know what you have, what you think of it. If you have a TireMinder, you think it's horrible, you think it's great. If you have a TST, you think it's horrible, think it's great, put it in the comments below. And to the left of me, I'm going to put our RV DIYs as well as our essential RV upgrades. And for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the road.